Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. Today, we are discussing the best watch made by niche manufacturer Maitres Du Temps. This independent, which pairs master watchmakers together to create each new edition of its catalog, here unites the talents of Kari Voutilainen and Andreas Streller, and this is the Chapter 3, the third watch in the series. Now, the timepiece is customized with a James Barlow painting rendered in miniature by micro-artisan Andre Martinez of lug. So this watch has it all going on. More on that in a moment. 42 millimeters in white gold. The watch is 14 millimeters thick by 50 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip with a 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. This is by far the most wearable Maitres Du Temps timepiece, as the others are enormous tonneau-cased complications that wear only on the biggest of wrists. My wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, wears this one beautifully. It is very comfortable, and the curvature of the lugs does help with the fit. That said, I wouldn't wear it on a wrist smaller than 15 centimeters circumference. The watch includes a strap of high quality. You can see that the lugs are actually drilled close to the case. This helps it fit well despite a broad span across the wrist, and you can see that the pivot center is actually closer to the center of the case than the edge of the lug, but they use curved spring bars to close the gap with the case so you don't have a big yawning gap between spring bar and case flank, and also to ensure the strap can move unimpeded. It is navy blue, but with a semi-gloss finish, a cobalt blue stitch. There's a folded edge. There's a lot of bolstering to add thickness here, and then on the bottom, there's calfskin, and you can see this is a brand new Maitres Du Temps factory strap with a matching white gold MDT pin buckle. You can see it is double finished with media blasting and polish, and it's a good looking component. The case is rendered in white gold, and you can see it has a wonderful fluid form, the inward inflection of the lugs coming to a tapered point, quite elegant and graceful, and you can see that there's sculpting and fluting on the underside of the lugs that adds to that sense of ethereal grace. There is a note that this is one of one. The watch is a piece unique, and here we have the Maitres Du Temps geometric logo inset within the crown, and that crown does a lot for the watch. It has a lot of rolls. We'll talk about that in a moment. You can see to make the watch appear less massive, a concave bezel profile was adopted, learning the lessons from Patek Philippe, which has long used this technique. Now, this is a 1790 painting known as Celestial Hemispheres, and it is reimagined by Andre Martinez, who is a micro-artisan. Since the 1990s, the classically trained miniature painter has created both miniature paintings and enamel miniature paintings that serve as the dial for watches. He works in small volume. He does both interpretations of existing works like this one and original works. Now, what you see here is actually quartered. You can see that there's a crosshair motif over the center of the dial, so it has a wonderful symmetry to it. While the standard Maitres Du Temps Chapter 3 has a radial date indicator, that has been omitted here to provide a better canvas for the work of the master painter. What operates as a moon phase has become a signature aperture, so you actually do have the moon phase mechanism still in place, though it's designed to blend in here with the rest of the dial. It features Martinez's signature. We have fired steel hands over the center, and you can see there are shutters at 12 o'clock and 6 o'clock. Kari Voutilainen was responsible for the appearance of the watch, the aesthetics, the case, the hands, and the style of the finishing rendered on the movement. Andreas Streller, who was formerly a prototypist with Audemars Piguet, Renault et Papy, is famed for discrete complications, that is, complicated functions that hide their complexity. And when you press on the crown, you first withdraw and then retract the shutters that cover a second time zone and a little roller that lets you know whether you're looking at day or night. So here's how this works. Now I pull out the crown and everything is moving in sync. I have two 12-hour barrels, and when I move past the limit of one 12-hour barrel, it jumps to display an adjacent 12-hour barrel that starts from 12 and continues to advance through the day. And you could see the hand-painted lacquered barrel up at the top. These rotating barrels are a signature of Maitres Du Temps watches. We have both the day and the night, so you know whether you're looking at, for example, 12 noon or 12 midnight. Now, if you wish, you can decouple the two using a pusher on the case flank. And now I can adjust the time at center without changing the time on the reference roller. Now everything is back together. I also have a quick set for the moon phase system, and of course it is a manual wind watch. If I want to put it in quick set mode, there's an intermediate position in which I can make changes to the moon phase, and then there is an outermost position in which I can change the time. And note, nothing obviously changes when I'm adjusting the time. You can only see the changes in the rollers from the reverse side, where you can appreciate the enameling, or from the front when the shutters are withdrawn. Now on the reverse side, we have caliber SHC03, meaning it is the third Maitres Du Temps movement. It beats away at 21,600 vibrations per hour, and for precise adjustment, features a variable inertia balance with a free-sprung regulator system. It uses an overcoil, so in any position, that hairspring ensures that the watch will keep even time. It has a 36-hour power reserve because it is so energy intensive. And you can see that the finishing is all Carré-Voudelainen with lustrous and evenly aligned stripes or Côte de Genève, that sharp interior angle over the center wheel, mirrored anglage a mile wide on the edge of the bridges, and you can see the screw heads are black polished with chamfered slots. There's satination on the wheels and engine turning on the base plate. You can see all of those black polished screw heads, and some of the bridges even come to sharp points. That's a difficult thing to finish. It is important to note that the watch does include 30-meter water resistance, and 30-meter water resistance is sufficient for splashing, but not sufficient for submergence, so you don't want to swim with this watch. It is the best of both Andreas Strehler and Carré-Voudelainen, and again, this specific model, hand-painted by Andre Martinez, is a piece unique. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.